Good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the UK Study Visa Seminar organized by United Kingdom Education Advisory Service. My name is Efiaska. I'm a counselor at UKIAS Ghana, and together with my colleague Lydia, also a counselor, we will be moderating this session. As you all know, UKIAS is an international education consultancy, and we basically assist students looking to study abroad with the process towards recruitment into our partner schools, as well as assist with study visa applications. Today's program is focused on procedure revolving a UK study visa application. We will be having a 30-minute presentation by Augustus, who is the manager in charge of UKIA's Osu branch. And right after the presentation is a Q&A session. And we will have your questions read by a great counseling team in the presence of Kezia, Nanaya, and Isifu. So please, whilst the presentation is ongoing, please type your questions in the chat box, and please ensure to keep your cameras off to allow for a seamless running of this program. Thank you all for joining. I will hand over to Augustus now to start off with the presentation. Hi, Augustus.
Hello, Sika. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
All
Hope you're
right.
good.
Very, very well.
Good to hear. All right, so I'm handing over to you now. You can start off with the presentation, please.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Augustus, and I work for the United Kingdom Education Advisory Services. I'm based at the Osu office as the branch manager. Very nice to meet you. And if I know you already, good to see you again virtually. So today my presentation will be in two parts. First part will introduce UKIA services to our friends who do not really know what we do at UKIAS. And then the second part will touch on the UK student visa application process. There will be plenty of time for questions and answers, and I'll be doing that with the country manager in person of Mary Stella Cheche. So during my presentation, if I did not touch on any of the things that you would like me to, you can quickly drop your question in the chat box, and as Sika rightly said, we will be happy to answer them all after the presentation. So yes, let's start with the first presentation about UKIA services. So my presentation will outline, will touch on these things, brief background about UKIAs, our study destinations, our office locations in Ghana if you want to visit us to support you after this program. Frequently asked questions, which I won't be touching. I will do that after the end of the visa presentation. And then our amazing UKIA school fairs. And of course, we have a Q&A session also after the visa application presentation. Okay, so UKIAS was established in 1993 in Taiwan and the UK, and currently has offices all over the world. So with Taiwan as our starting point and the world as our goal, we strive to assist students to fulfill their career dreams of studying abroad. And as you can see on your screen, we have 33 offices dotted around the globe. We are in 9 countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, United Kingdom. So wherever you are around the globe, we are able to support you with your study abroad dreams. Now, these are our various study destinations that we work with. Sometimes we receive, calls from students and parents. Do you work with this country? Can you support me with this country? So I'd like to let you know the countries that we work with. We work with schools, mostly schools in the United Kingdom. We have schools that we partner with in Ireland, in Australia, New Zealand, US, Canada. So if you have interest in any of these schools, sorry, if you have interest in any of these countries, schools in these countries, we are very, very happy to assist you with anything at all that you are looking forward to. All right. So we have 3 offices in Ghana. I'm equally excited to tell you we have opened a new office in East Legon. So I'm speaking with you from Osu office. We are just opposite the Methodist Church at the Osu Akwaji Park. At East Legon, just a few meters away from the Melcom shop. From Melcom, you turn to your right, you will see us there. And then our fantastic Kumasi branch is around the Ahujo roundabout. So either in person or virtually, wherever you are, we are happy to support you with your study dreams abroad. So what do we do at UKIAS? So UKIAS is the official school representatives in Ghana of all the countries that I mentioned earlier. So any school you want to apply to in this country, and we partner with these schools, we are able to, support you with your application. So first of all, we advise on the programs available, the entry requirement, um, tell you about the documents you need to secure an offer. We go ahead to help you apply to this school. We have a team of dedicated admission officers that process student application. We also advise you on the various types of accommodation and further support you with your student visa application. On scholarships, we advise on the various scholarships the respective schools are offering. Unfortunately, we do not assist students with their scholarship application, but we can advise you on the various scholarships available from any of the schools that we partner with. So after you secure your student visa, then we go ahead to provide pre-departure briefing, what you should expect, when traveling, cultural shock and all sorts of things, especially for first-time travelers. This is very important to find your way around when you get to the UK. So UKIAS is a whole package. And to tell you the truth, all these are absolutely free. You do not pay anything for this, right? And there are no hidden costs. Your tuition fee doesn't go up by using UKIAS services. In fact, the schools have placed us here for you to use us, so that we can advise you to make the best choice. We can advise you to have a successful application in terms of your admission application and then your visa application as well. So take advantage of these free services. Our offices are open. You've seen our 3 offices in Accra, 2 in Accra and 1 in Kumasi. We are very open. We can help you either virtually or in person. So after this program or event, if you are interested in using UKIAS services, we are very much happy to assist you. So I'm going to tackle the frequently asked questions right after the presentation on the UK student visa. All right, so UKIAS is one of the higher education agency that organize fantastic, fairs. So we have in-office visits where schools come to meet students and sometimes their parents. They discuss the courses they want to study, relevance to their career goals, the academic entry requirements, what they should expect when they arrive in school, the facilities available to them, the support. So you have a one-on-one interaction with the school. Sometimes you meet the international office, other times you can meet academics. What is more important that even before you enroll in a school, you meet the one that will be teaching you at the school and they are able to explain to you what you should expect. So you can visit our website. You will see when the schools are visiting any of our offices, and then you can book and attend any of our sessions. So UKIAS is also one of the agencies that organize the biggest fairs in Ghana, right? Our fairs are normally in April, May, and then October. So watch and follow all our digital platforms. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for our wonderful fairs to meet and interact with various schools. We do have over 60 schools attending in one single event. So, and the opportunity to meet different schools, discuss your options with different schools is very beautiful. So take advantage of our fairs, follow our social media platforms, get to know the dates we are organizing these fairs, and attend and have a good information session to plan your study abroad journey. All right, so I will now take down this slide. Just give me a minute. So if you have any question, this is my email address and the country manager's email address as well. We will also drop the various offices' contacts and email address in the chat box, so you could pick them and speak to us. Our working hours are weekdays between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then for OSU office, we work every second Saturday in the month from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., of course. All right. So we'll move on to our main presentation for today. Just give me a minute. Right. So before I start this presentation, I'd like to know how many of us will be enrolling this September, October in a school in the UK. So if you can just type, if you are going to study a bachelor's program, you can just type BSc or BA and your school name. If you are going to study a master's, you can just type in MSc, MA, and then your school name. So within 1 minute, if we can kindly do that, I want to know the number of students that are enrolling in the UK this September, October. So just within 1 minute, let's do that quickly.
Hello, Augustus. Hello, Sika. Please, can you hear me?
Isifu, we can hear you.
Okay. I think Augustus is having some issue with the internet.
No, he asked them to type something in the chat box, so
Oh,
that's what they are doing.
oh,
Hello, sorry, I lost you for a bit. So I can see a number of students have typed in their schools. Wonderful. I have Debbie, Success, Aberdeen, Straglight, Sterling. Wow, that's fantastic. All right, so I'm going to move into the presentation. Jerry, can you help me with the second slide? I have trouble doing that here.
Okay, Augustus, I'm on it.
All right, thank you.
Is it this one? Check. Which is UK's.
Okay, Jerry, if you can't, let me do it here. I think I'll be able to do it now. All right, Jerry, are you sharing yours?
No, you are the one sharing. You are the one sharing, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so sorry about that. So let's start. The UK is ready to welcome all international this year. I mean, students starting September, October this year. The UK universities are well poised to welcome students for in-person class. However, some of your courses may be taken online. There may be hybrid where you take some of your programs online, even while you are in the UK. But with respect to the UK opening up for students to travel and study in the country, yes, they've put in a lot of health measures to make sure the health and safety of both the staff and students are very paramount. And, last year, hardly did we see students that enrolled contracting the COVID virus. So, yes, the UK is open to international students to start school this year. Now, last year, the UK government also introduced a new point-based system student visa to replace the old Tier 4 student visa. Now, this point-based student visa is to ensure that the UK government is able to attract the most brilliant, the most talented students into their world-class universities. However, the requirement for this new point-based system is pretty much the same as the Tier 4. Students still need to have an unconditional offer from an approved educational institution. They should be able to write and speak English, and then they should be able to support themselves financially, at least for the first year of their studies in the UK. The good thing about this new system is that students are given the opportunity to apply for their student visa 6 months in advance before their start date. So if you are starting in September, you can apply for your visa somewhere in April, before your start date. However, you will not be able to travel to the UK unless 1 month prior to your start date. So although you can apply for your visa 6 months, you cannot travel until 1 month. So this gives rooms for students that are
Hi everyone. It seems we've lost Augustus. I think he's having some internet challenges. Please let's give him a couple of minutes to join us. Thank you.
all right, sorry, I keep on going on and off. Sorry about that. Jerry, can you share the slide for me? So if I go off, I'll be able to see that, please.
Okay, I'm on.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. So with the new point-based system, it's pretty much the same as the old one. Students will still need to get an unconditional offer from an approved educational institution. The student should be able or must be able to speak and write English. They should be able to support themselves financially. That is, they are supposed to show their first year tuition fee and living expenses if the duration of their program is more than a year. The good thing about the new system is that students are able to apply for their visas or visa 6 months in advance prior to their start date. However, you can only travel 1 month in advance to your start date. Now, this gives room for you to prepare and gathering your things, putting up your stuff, getting your flight tickets at a cheaper rate, because if you plan in advance, things get a bit cheaper, relatively cheaper for you. So that is the fantastic thing about the new system that has been introduced. The visa fee is $511 for the new system, what we call the student route. The visa fee is $511 if you're applying outside the UK. So most of us here will be applying for our visas from Ghana. So you will be paying $511. And then you pay the immigration health surcharge, which is £470 per year. So the immigration health surcharge gives you the opportunity to visit the clinic, the hospital, the general practitioner if you're unwell at no cost at all. All right, so you can make good use of it when you get to the UK and you probably get unwell. And you'll be asked to pay this fee, both the visa fee and the immigration health surcharge, before you can submit your online visa application. These fees are payable via debit or credit card, including Visas, MasterCard. These are the popular ones that we have here in Ghana. All right, let's move on. Okay, so before you apply for the student visa, there are very important documents that you need to put together. Apart from securing your unconditional offer, the school will issue you with what we call confirmation of acceptance of studies. It's a fancy name. The confirmation of acceptance of studies, CAS, is a fancy name for visa letter. And if you do not have this letter, you can't even start your student visa application. So the first thing to get is your CAS. And then you also have to make sure that your passports have not less than 6 months validity in it. What I mean is that, you have some students that they have their passport expiring in January. It will be better if you renew your passport before applying for your student visa. You also have to show your proof of funds, and these include your first year tuition fee and living expenses, and then your educational documents. Normally, these documents will be stated on your CAS letter, and the school will do their own assessment of your English proficiency. So sometimes the school may advise that you include the evidence used in your application. Sometimes they may tell you it's not important for you to include the evidence. So these will actually be stated on your CAS letter as well. And for students that are doing very sensitive programs that sometimes can be used for mass distraction, they will be required to get clearance from for ATAS. All right. So if your school required that, or your course required that you get ATAS before you apply for your visa, it's very important that you apply for the clearance way in advance before you even receive your cards, because sometimes the ATAS clearance can take up to 3 months to receive. So students that need ATAS, they should apply way in advance before. As soon as you receive your offer letter from the school and it states you will need ATAS, you should apply for this. You don't need to wait until your CAS is issued. In certain instances, the school will not even issue your CAS letter until you have gotten clearance for ATAS. And then you need to tuberculosis test, medical test at an approved institution by the UKVI. In Ghana here, we just have one. And if you speak to any of our counselors, they will be able to provide you as to how to go about booking your tuberculosis medical test. So these are the documents you need: your passport. It should have not less than 6 months validity, travel validity. Then you need your CAS letter, which will contain all your details. You need to have your proof of funds ready, your academic documents. For your academic documents, you need the originals. So currently, the UKVI do not take all the hard copies, and then after assessment of your document, they bring it. However, you scan them. Sorry, you will be asked to scan and upload them, or even if you take it to the center, they will scan them and return them back to you. So it's very important that you have your original document. In a situation whereby you can't get your original document, you have to communicate this with your school, and probably the school will advise that you get an attestation letter from your previous academic institution. All right. Jerry, please, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so I was talking about showing your proof of funds. So with the new student visa route, it's pretty much the same as the old Tier 4 general visa system. Students will be asked to show a certain amount of money in their bank account, dependent on the location of their schools. So if your school is in London, you will be asked to show up to 9 months for each month, £1,334. All right. So you'll be asked to show times 9 of these. Whether the duration of your program is 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, all students that are going to study inside London will be asked to show 9 months living expenses of 1,334. If your school is outside London, then you would be asked to show 9 months of £1,023 plus your first year tuition fee. And the total funds need to be held in your account for 28 consecutive days before you can use the bank statement. If you're not sure which kind of banks that are on the UKVI financial institution list, you can check with the UKIAS team. We can advise on which banks you should use, because it's not all banks that are accepted by the UKVI. Yes, you may have more than what you need to show, and it would have been in account for 28 days, but you can still get a visa refusal because you did not use the right bank. All right, so you can check with the UKIAS team, and they will be able to advise you on the financial or banking institutions that are on the UKVI financial institution list. All right, Jerry, let's move on to the next slide. Now, this is the application process. So after you receive your CAS, you've gotten your clearance for ATAS if it is required, you have your bank statement ready, then you start with the online visa application. The application form is online and is submitted online. So you go online, which the UKIAS team are experts. The counselors are experts. They've been doing this for a number of years. They are able to pick up all the little errors in your visa application and make sure that you are presenting a very valid and good data to the immigration officer. So the visa application is completed online, and then you pay your visa fee, the immigration health search charge. You book an appointment, and then you go to the center on the appointment day to take your biometrics. At the TLS center, which is here in Accra, during your appointment and submission of your biometrics, you may be asked to take a credibility interview, which is very crucial for all students. It can either make or unmake your application. So it's very important to speak to a team of experts to tell you what you should expect, and they're preparing you ahead of your credibility interview date. So after you've taken your biometric, probably you've sat for your credibility interview, the UKVI will now assess your application. Sometimes they may verify with your bank whether you have the amount stated in the bank statement you have submitted, whether the bank statement is genuine, and then based on their assessment, is either your visa is granted or is your visa application is granted or is rejected. Okay, so these are the stages. You do your application online, you book your appointment, you go to the center to take your biometrics and take your credibility interview. The UKVI assess your application and it's either you are successful or unsuccessful. It takes between 3 weeks, 15 working days to receive a decision on your visa application. However, during peak season like July, August, it could take a little bit longer. So it's very important that you get an expert to look at your application, make sure that you have presented the relevant documents, the application form has been filled properly, and there are no delays when you submit your visa application, right? So these are some of the common issues that will attract a visa rejection. So one of them is poor English language ability. Yes, this is assessed through your credibility interview. Like I said, the credibility interview is very, very crucial to your application. And then study gaps not stated, or the progression route does not really have anything to do with your previous studies. Let's say that you study business in your bachelor's, and now you are going to study something like nursing, or you are going to study something like engineering. Well, the caseworker may want to question you how these relate to your previous academic background, your working experience, and how it impacts on your future career goals. So sometimes students are not able to give the right answers that their caseworker want to hear, and these may attract a rejection. Other issues include false bank statements. Now, if you use a false bank statement or a forged document, you are likely not to get a rejection, but to get a 10-year ban from the UK. And it's very serious. We've seen cases whereby students were given bank statement, they had no idea that it was fake. Probably someone promised them they will put the money into the account and the money was not there, and they managed to print a bank statement with the money. They are able to detect all these things. And the moment they detect that you've presented a false document or a forged document, you will get a 10-year ban from the UK. And then lack of transparency of source of funding. So there may be a huge amount of money in the bank statements, and probably they want you to declare the source of funds, where the money had come from into the bank account. Probably it is not from you, maybe it's from your sponsor. Your sponsor can be anyone. Your sponsor can be family, can be friend, can be anybody that have the financial capabilities to support you. But sometimes the immigration officer or the case worker would like to know the source of these huge amounts of money in your account. And if you are not able to explain it, that will also cause a visa rejection. Now, duplicated loans and unverified bank statements is similar to the forged document. So sometimes people use all kinds of bank statements that is not, part of the financial institution that has been listed by the UKVI. So yes, you may have the required funds in the account, and it has been there for the number of days required by the UK visa and immigration, but you will still get a visa rejection because it's not part of the financial institution by the UKVI. And then the credibility of your application. Now, this is very important, as some students make a lot of errors when filling the application. Sometimes they don't disclose certain information, maybe immigration history. They might have been refused a visa to a country before, but they felt it is unimportant, or probably if they disclose this information, they will get a visa rejection, or they have worked in an institution where the UKVI wanted to know and they didn't, put that information. So there are a whole lot of things that goes on in when filling your student visa application. And I might say that if you contact any of the UKAS counselors, they will be happy to detect all these likely issues that will attract a rejection for your visa application. So do visit any of our office and they will be happy to assist you. All right, Jerry, let's move on to the next slide. So last year, the UK government introduced the graduate students route. And like I said, apart from one of the key features of applying for your visa 6 months before your start dates, they also introduced the post-study work right, where students, after completing their studies in the UK, whether you study for a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, you qualify to stay and work in the UK for 2 to 3 years. So if you study for a bachelor's or a master's, you qualify for 2 years. And if you study for a PhD, you qualify for 3 years post-study work right. And you can work at any skilled level at all. You can work at any skilled level. The beautiful thing about this graduate route is that you do not need to get an employment to apply. You do not need to show any money in your account to apply. All you have to do is complete your academic program successfully. Your school will inform the UKVI that you have completed your program successfully. Then you can apply for these graduate routes. And the cost of applying for the graduate route is £700. Now, you need to be in the UK to apply for this graduate route. So, for example, if you finish your program and you decide to return back to Ghana, and then your student visa that you were given expired, then you do not qualify for the graduate route. You need to be in the UK. Your visa shouldn't have expired by the time of application to qualify for the graduate route. And like I said, you don't need to show any form of funds. You don't need to get any employment, any sponsorship. All you need to do is complete your studies and voila, you can apply for the graduate route. That's one interesting thing about the graduate route. All right, Jerry, let's move on. Okay, so after you've gotten your visa, especially for first-time travelers and even students that have a number of travel experience, the rules keep on changing day in and day out because of the current global COVID situation we are in now. So it's very important that after you've secured your student visa, you speak to your counselor and then they will advise you on the next thing to do. We've seen situations whereby students traveled to the UK because they took a fake COVID test and they have to put them on the next flight and return them back to Ghana. And if this happens, the UKVI is going to scrutinize your visa application. Make sure that you didn't submit any fake documents. Some instances, your visa can even be withdrawn and you cannot travel back to the UK again. So it's very important that after your visa has been granted, you speak to your counselor. They will advise you on the next stage, what you should do before you travel, the tests you should do, where you can even take these tests, the forms you should fill. You know, Ghana is not on the red list at the moment, and we hope will not be on the red list. So there are certain things that you have to do. Now, the UK has divided the countries into green, amber, and red. So depending on the category that your country fall into, there are a number of things you have to do before you travel to the UK. And bear in mind that the UK has now left the EU. So if you are doing a transit to another country, you might want to check with your counselor if you will need a transit visa or not. So all these things are very important after obtaining your student visa, and the UKAS team are very happy to support you with this information. All right, Jerry, let's move on to the next slide. All right, so like I said, Ghana fortunately is not on the red list, so we are not going to go through this. Yes, you will be asked to quarantine, and depending on the category in which your country fall in. And unfortunately, Ghana is not on the red list, so this will not apply to us. And we hope Ghana will stay on amber or either move to green, but not on the red list. All right, Jerry, let's move to the next slide. So I'd like to say thank you for your attention this afternoon, and I want this to be more interactive. So all your questions that have not been attended to, you can drop them in the chat box, and myself and the country manager, we will be very happy to answer them all. Thank you very much.
All right, Augustus, thank you so much for the informative presentation. I believe we have all been well enlightened. And so at this point, we'll start with the Q&A session. So I'll hand over to the team, Kezia, Isifu, and Anaya to take over.
All right. Thank you so much, Augustus, for the presentation. Thank you to Sika. So we just want to go straight to the questions, but Augustus, for the sake of those who join later, I want you to confirm if the UK is ready to receive students for online. Most of the universities in the UK, are they ready to receive students for in-person studies?
Yes, thank you for that. Let me just give Augustus a little break to drink some water, and he can join me when he's ready to. Thank you, Augustus, for that insightful presentation. So my name is Marie, and I will be joined by Augustus to answer all your questions. We'll do very well. We'll aim to answer your questions. We aim to answer your questions this afternoon. And in case we are not able to give you the full information, please feel free to reach out to us after the session, and we can invite you over for one-to-one session. So Nana, you had a question again, please.
Okay, madam, I just wanted him to confirm if the universities in the UK are ready to start in-person learning since the COVID has gone down, if they are ready to start in-person teaching and learning.
Okay, so yes, at the moment, yes, all the universities are ready. They are all on standby, waiting for the UK government regulations. But currently, everyone is ready to accept. They are putting in all the measures to receive all international students to the UK. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I want to ask this question on behalf of one student who couldn't join. So he had a visa refusal, a visit visa refusal, and I think he submitted a fake bank statement, and they refused him, but he wasn't banned. They only said that his application has been refused, and then any future UK visa applications he'll make will be considered on individual merits. So I want to find out the possibility of getting a study visa for this September due to the previous visa refusal.
Okay, thank you for that question, Anaya. So yes, he wasn't banned. However, it's likely that they will go back to that previous refusal and maybe refer to a few instances before they can make a decision. But the likelihood of getting a visa granted following a refusal of visa on use of fraudulent documents, it's very slim. But we can still try.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So I'll hand over to Kezia to continue with the rest of the questions. Kezia,
Okay.
if you are available. If Kezia, you're not ready, Isifu, please, you can take over.
I'm here. Good afternoon.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, Kezia. Before Kezia asks the next question, I would like to say that the UK is very much prepared to welcome students. You know, Nanaya asked the question if the UK, and Marie answered it. So they are well prepared. We've seen a number of lockdowns, but they are better prepared now than anywhere on earth to deal with future waves. Thanks to their vaccine coverage. So Probably someone may ask, there is another current wave they are hearing about. The UK is very, very much prepared to welcome international students this September, October. Thank you.
Okay,
right,
thank you very
Augustus.
much, Augustus. Okay, Augustus, you were talking about approved financial sponsors. So, for the sake of the students who want to apply to the UK for visa, would like to know who the UKVI approved financial sponsors are.
Okay, Kezia, thanks for that question. So an approved financial sponsor can be the government, it can be the states, it can be an international organization. So for example, for government, we have the UK government can also sponsor students, and they work in partnership with some of our universities in the form of offering scholarship via Chevening or Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. For the government institutions, for example, we have the Office of the President can sponsor, they are recognized. We have approved states financial sponsors like maybe the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. We have Ghana Education Trust Fund, Get Fund. We have some of the ministries, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, international organizations, those who qualify as international organizations that can sponsor. These are companies that maybe have branches in multiple countries. So for example, in Ghana, if you should come with XYZ enterprise that is only in Ghana, it doesn't qualify as a financial sponsor. If you bring a letter from Shell, for example, Shell is noted to be worldwide, is globally accepted. So these are the category of companies or financial sponsors that are accepted by the UKVI for Tier 4. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, madam, that clears that up. Okay, so I know for most Ghanaians, people have two bank accounts, some are in pounds, some are in euros. I want to know, can a student submit two bank account statements showing required funds to support their visa application?
Yes, you can combine several statements if you don't have all the funds in one account. So you can provide a dollar, a CD account, as long as the individual funds have been held in the account for the minimum 28 consecutive days. That is the period that you must have the funds in the account. So you can use several accounts, it's not a problem. However, during the super peak period, which is, I'll say, August, if you're providing more than 3 bank statements, it's important to list these documents in your additional information section, or just to make it clear. And if you are providing maybe a cover letter, just to state clearly the currencies you are submitting. It's peak period. They are human beings. They tend to make mistakes during peak period. So you just try to provide as much information to them in case there's an oversight, because they might think that because application is coming from Ghana, they're expecting to see a CD account. So if you're using Forex accounts, please make sure that this is well highlighted in your application so that someone does not misinterpret a dollar account to maybe CD or even any other currency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So for the people who work, that's the employees who want to go and study in the UK, can the UK VI accept company bank statements as evidence of funds to support their application?
Unfortunately, no. So as I mentioned earlier, we have approved financial sponsors. So once your company or your institution is in this category, there is no need to provide bank statements. Just a letter would suffice. Because you are approved, they know what you stand for. So just a letter stating clearly what you are covering for. If your sponsor is covering for only the tuition fees, they need to state that they're covering the tuition fees and state the amounts, because some sponsors cover partially. Maybe they can say we're only paying for 50% of the tuition fees. Okay, so that's basically it. I don't know if Augustus has anything to add to that.
Yes, Marie, you've said it all. So the well-known approved sponsors don't even need to show their company bank statement. But probably, I believe the student is asking if they can use their own company bank statement, which is a big no. Even if is sole proprietorship is a big no.
Thank you.
Okay. So I also happen to know that the UK is doing ongoing vaccination exercise. I want to know if it will be extended to international students on arrival.
Yes, Kezia, thanks for that. So I'm pleased to say that all international students who are over 18 are eligible for vaccination in the UK. So once you are 18 and over and you arrive in the UK, you are able to book for the coronavirus vaccination in England, and this includes international students. So if you've not had the jab in Ghana and you're not sure about your safety, please, when you arrive, you can book. This will be extended to you. Once you get the appointment, you'll be invited to the health facility to take your jab. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I know Augustus has already said this, but Augustus, can you kindly reiterate this? Is it okay to withhold information on previous visa refusal when filling a UK visa application?
Thank you, Kezia. I wouldn't advise the student to hold any information. If they are unsure of what to put on their visa application form, like I said, it will be better to consult an expert to see how they can nicely present the issue, but making the actual point why that issue occur. So I wouldn't advise any student to withhold any very special or important information that may cause their visa application.
Okay, that's understandable. Thank you very much for that. I think I'll hand over to Isifu to read the questions in the chat box. Isifu, please, are you around?
Yeah, Kezia, thank you very much. Augustus and Madam Mary, we thank you so much for this presentation. We've got a number of questions here, I think. Let me read out the first one. I'm 18 years old. So can I go to UK if my visa has been granted alone without any parent?
Thank you, Isifu, for that question. So yes, once you are 18, you are an adult in the UK. If you are 18 years and above, you are considered as a full adult. And so you can travel alone, you can live independently. You don't need the consent of your parents to travel independently or to make your accommodation arrangements for you. So yes, you can travel alone. Thank you.
Okay. The next question is, can I take my classes online because I don't want to go to UK physically?
Thank you. That will depend on the university. So as we mentioned earlier in some of the previously asked questions, we are all hopeful that everyone can travel physically to the UK this September to study. However, some universities might say that they are not offering online anymore. You can either do like 100% online. You might have to do partially from home, and maybe in 3-4 months time you have to travel to the UK. So some universities will give you a deadline to actually arrive in the UK, and even if you're studying from Ghana virtually, you should be able to apply for your visa on time and make sure that you are in the UK before this deadline. So the issue of you studying 100% online is dependent on the university. If your university says they're happy to deliver a course online 100%, that's fine. But if not, you'll be expected to travel by a certain deadline. Thank you.
Okay. And how many times can I defer my program if I'm not ready to start now?
Okay, so we are strictly talking about visa. If you have issues with deferment of admission, you can reach out to us later, but I'll just answer that. It depends on the university. Thank you.
Okay, okay. The next question is, okay. There was a mistake on my CAS letter, on my course name. Can I still use that CAS letter to apply for my visa, or what should I do?
Okay, so it's important that the information on your CAS is correct before you put in an application. So if you detect any errors, it's important to notify the university. If you have to provide proof that maybe it's a name, in this case, someone has said it's the course. So you just have to write back to the school to correct it. Usually they will not issue a new card. They can just update it and tell you in writing that it's been updated, or they can send you a picture as proof that a note has been made on your card. So you can just go ahead and apply. Thank you.
Okay. I got a ban from Canada in 2019. So I want to find out if that will affect my UK student visa now.
All applications are assessed on individual merits. Even if you've been refused several times, once you put in an application, they will consider it as a fresh one. However, if you have sent fraudulent documents, that one is treated separately. So yes, if you've been refused before for Canada, as long as it's nothing criminal, nothing that's incriminating, then yes, it shouldn't have an effect on your application. Maybe lack of funds, or you didn't quite meet certain requirements, that shouldn't really affect it. But however, if you have used fake documents, then yes, then you should be worried about your second application to the UK. Thank you.
Thank you too. As a student, can I bring my family with me to the UK if I've been granted a student visa?
Yes, you can bring your dependents along with you to the UK. Your dependents are strictly your spouse, if you are married, and your children, biological children. So they can all apply as Tier 4 dependents and travel with you to the UK. Your spouse can work full-time, no restrictions with work, and your children can also attend school. So yes, that's accepted.
Okay.
All right. So Isifu, let me add a bit of note to that. It's rightly what Marie said. However, the new student route do not allow students studying for bachelor's program to travel with their dependent. So you want to check if you are going to do a foundation or a bachelor's program. The law has changed. Previously, if you are studying on the tier 4, you will be allowed. But the new student visa route do not allow dependents for students going to study foundation or a bachelor's program.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Augustus.
The next question is, my dad made a fixed deposit for my study. Can I use that certificate to apply for the visa?
So fixed deposits and investment accounts, treasury bills, fixed deposits are usually not accepted for Tier 4 visas. So if your dad has a fixed deposit, it's better to just liquefy those funds and put it in a personal account for the 28 days, apply for the visa, show the proof of funds, and then afterwards you can always put that money back into investment. So for Tier 4, it has to be strictly personal funds. The whole idea is that they want to know that the funds are readily accessible. Some of these investment accounts, you don't have the funds readily available. If you walk in today and you say you want 50,000 from that investment, they'll tell you that it will take about 3 days or 4 days. That is why the Home Office insists that it has to be personal accounts, because those ones you can have access to it immediately. Thank you.
Okay. The next question is about on the bank statement. How much do I need to show in the bank statement for my visa application?
Okay, so for the bank statement, you are required to show evidence of funds to cover your tuition fees, outstanding tuition fees, and your estimated living expenses. The living expenses is already calculated by the Home Office, whether your school is located in London or outside London. So if your school is located in London, you know the living expenses for London, you add that to your remaining fees, and you must show that total amount in your account for minimum 28 days. If your school is outside London too, you add the living expenses for outside and then your remaining fees, and show that total amount as minimum balance in your account for 28 days. That's all you have to show. If your course is, and it's only for the first year. So for example, if your course is a PhD PhD program and it's for 4 years, you're not supposed to show for the 4 years duration. You only show for the first year. Only for the first year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me see. The next question is, sorry,
Okay, so while Isifu is going through the questions to read them out, please keep your questions coming in. We hope to finish this session by 1:30, and so please keep your questions coming in, and we hope to read them out and provide the right answers. Thank you.
Here we are. If I'm using the bank statement of my parent, so do I need a consent letter?
Yes, you do.
Although I'm 18 plus.
Yes, you do. So even if, first of all, the funds is not in your name, so it means that it's not your money. So if you're going to use a statement from your parents, you need to get a consent letter signed by them, saying that they give their full consent for you to use the funds in their accounts to cover your tuition fees and your living expenses. So yes, it's part of the requirement if you are not using a bank statement in your name. Thank you.
Okay. I have paid my first deposit of £3,000 and I'm still waiting for my card. How long would that take before I get my card letter?
Okay, so that depends on every institution and how they issue cards. It depends on how busy that institution is as well. So I would say that if you're already with UCAS and just reach out to your counselor, you can place a call to the international officer for your university and expedite that process for you. If you are not come to UCAS already and you are a direct applicant, please reach out to us after the seminar, send us your offer letter, and we can assist get your cars quickly for you. Thank you.
Okay. How do I pay for my health surcharge and the visa application fee?
So as my colleague Augustus mentioned earlier, all payments are online. You need a card to pay online. You don't pay any money to the other visa center at Movenpick. You must have a Visa card, MasterCard, or Visa card. Those are the main ones. You need those to pay online. You enter the card details, expiry dates, address, and your account will be debited. So payments are online.
Okay. We got a question here. I'm in Ukraine studying a degree, but I want to apply for a master's in the UK. So do you advise I apply straight from the Ukraine or I should come back to Ghana before I apply for my UK student visa?
Okay, so as long as you have residence permit in another country, residence permit, you are eligible to apply for another visa from that country. If you don't have residence permit, then you cannot. So if the student has a residence permit in that country and it's still valid, they can apply for a student visa from Ukraine without having to travel to Ghana. However, if it's just a visit visa, that is not a recognized one. You need to come back to your home country to apply for a student visa. Thank you.
Okay. I want to travel with my spouse for my master's program. What do you think can increase my chance of getting the visa?
Okay, so first of all, you need to establish enough proof that this person is your spouse. It's come to our notice that marriage certificates sometimes are not enough proof that somebody is your spouse. So sometimes you need to provide more information, be it charts, pictures, a lot of information. So you can still reach out to us to assist you with that evidence. Yeah. If Augustus has something to add to that, he can also speak up. Otherwise,
Yeah, madam,
you can.
I think you are right. That's what is required. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And apart from that, Isifu, let me just add that your dependent too is required to show certain funds in the account for 28 days to cover their maintenance costs. So you as the main applicant, the same requirements should be it tuition fees, maintenance for you. Your dependents would have to only show living costs for the duration of your program as well. And the monies must be in the account for minimum 28 days before you can apply. And then you add the proof of relationship if you're married to show that this is your spouse and you assess it. Thank you.
Okay. Could you please confirm if a commercial bank is an approved bank for my?
Yes. Yes, it is. GCB Bank is an approved financial institution for Tier 4.
Okay. Can I apply for the visa when the 28 days required is not up to?
No, so you need to wait for the money to mature in your account for 28 days before you submit your application online. If you submit your application online whilst you're waiting for your statement to mature and you submit your application, you'll be denied visa. They will calculate the 28 days from the day your application was submitted online.
Okay. Is it advisable that I use my personal accounts or my parents' own for the visa application?
Both are acceptable. It's up to you. You can use personal, all funds in your name. You can use combined statements with, if you don't have enough funds in your personal accounts, you can also use that of your parents. 2 accounts, 3 accounts is fine. They are both okay. You'll be granted visa as long as the funds have been held in the account for the required period. You're okay.
Okay. I received a scholarship from Ghana Scholarship Secretariat this year, and they got all my details correctly on the letter, but they didn't get my course name properly. So would that affect my application?
I would suggest that you ask them to correct that to avoid any undue delay with your application. If they can correct it, I'll ask you to get it corrected rather than submit that letter which has a wrong course title, so that doesn't delay your application. Thank you.
The IHS, is it refundable when the visa is refused?
Yes. So the immigration health surcharge is refundable once your visa is refused. It's only the visa fee that is non-refundable. So if you refuse the visa, yes, it will be refunded. It will go back to the card that you used to pay your immigration health surcharge.
How long would that take to get this decision when I have submitted my visa application and I'm done with the biometric and interview?
Okay, thank you, Isifu. So the normal turnaround time for applications, for visa applications, is 15 working days. My colleague Augustus mentioned that in the introductory session. 15 working days, which is 3 weeks. However, during the peak period, this can take longer. It can take even 6 weeks, sometimes 2 months, 3 months to get a decision. So please, if you have everything in place, just put in your application as early as possible to avoid any delays. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is, can you assist me with the visa interview? Like
Yes, we
prepare
do.
okay.
Yes, we do. As part of our services, our free services, we offer you all that in addition to helping you find a school, helping you meet offer conditions, explaining, providing you help with accommodation and all. Yes, we do assist. We give you the more questions to prepare. You come into the office or you can connect virtually with your counselor. We take you through the prep questions, listen to your answers, and help you to modify them if need be, to increase your chances of getting the visa. Thank you.
Okay. My dad is a UK citizen, so can I use his bank statement for my visa application?
Yes, that's fine. As long as you can prove that he's your father by providing your birth certificate, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Can I just say, whilst we are answering the questions, can we have the slide on our contact details shared on the screen? All our office locations, email addresses, and contact numbers. Thank you.
Okay, Francis, you got admission to a university in Ukraine that we don't work with, so sorry, we cannot assist you with that. Let me see. Okay, if you want to find out your bank is an approved financial institution, please contact UKS Ghana and then we will check that for you. We cannot go through all the banks here. Thank you so much. Please, hello, Augustus, are you here?
Yes, Isifu, I'm here.
Okay. Can I use proof of loan from a bank to apply for my UK student visa?
Well, the UKVI will consider certain loans. So yes, if your bank loan you and you put it in your account for the 28 consecutive days, that can be used. So in your application, you explain that this is a loan that has been given to you. Yes, it's accepted.
Okay. And can my brother sponsor me with his bank statement?
Well, unfortunately, your brother can sponsor you, but you can't use your brother's bank statement. Your brother will have to transfer the required funds into your personal bank account per the UKVI student visa rules. So these are the people that you can use their bank statement, yourself and your biological parent. Apart from these, any other person can sponsor, but they will have to transfer the required funds into your bank account. And it's fine. It's fine if you are not working and you can't show that, some students may say, I'm not working. So it will be difficult to prove that the funds are coming from me. It's fine for anyone to sponsor you, but the money will have to be in your personal account.
Okay. This is somehow a maths-related question. I've got admission to study a 3-year program in the UK. So how much do I need to show in the bank account, and how much do I need for the visa application?
Isifu, can you repeat? Okay.
Okay, sorry, okay. The question is, I've got admission to study a 3-year program in the UK. So the course duration is 3 years. So how much money do I need to show in the bank statement? And how much do I need for the visa application fee? I think he's trying to find out if he needs to show money for the full duration of the program and how much he has to pay for the IHS and application fee.
Okay, Isifu. So, like I said in my presentation, the UK Visa and Immigration for student visa will ask all students to show their first year tuition fee and living expenses for 4 months, depending on the location of your school. So if your school is in London, you will be asked to show a total of £12,007 equivalent plus your first year tuition fee. If your school is outside London, then you will be asked to show a total living expenses of £9,207 plus your first year tuition fee. For payment regarding the health insurance, you will be asked to pay the full 3 years on submission of your online application. Hello, Isifu.
Yeah, okay, so sorry, I'm here.
All right.
I can see some people, they turn on their videos. Please, you can just turn off your cameras and mute, keep the mic muted. Thank you very much. Do I have to take a leave from my... Okay, the next question is, do I need to take a leave from work to prove before I leave to the UK?
Well, ECFU is not mandatory, but sometimes it helps to prove the genuinity of the student. But it's not mandatory for you to get a study leave. It's not part of the mandatory document you need to submit when putting in your student visa application, but it may help.
Okay. Currently, I'm in school, I'm in third year, and I would like to apply to the UK when I'm done with my studies here. Or do you advise that I apply now?
Okay, so today's event is purposely for student visa. However, I will encourage the student to get in touch with any of our counselors. I've put the details on the screen. We will soon share each counselor's telephone number with you, so you can call any of them and we'll be happy to advise you. Coming back to the question of making application, you will need your transcript, your full transcript to apply. There are other instances that the school can consider you on your partial transcript. But for now, since you are in school, I would advise that you complete, get your full transcript, and that will help you secure that offer with the school you want to enroll with.
Okay. Sorry, the next question is, if I use my daddy's bank statement to apply for the visa and the visa has been granted, so can he withdraw the money before I leave to the UK?
Yes, Isifu, you can withdraw the money as soon as you receive a decision on your application and it's positive. The reason why sometimes we advise that even when a decision has been made on your application, you should still not withdraw until you've seen whether the visa has been granted or not, because sometimes there may be instances where you have been refused and probably need to appeal or something, and we still need that money in the account to go through that process. So you can only withdraw when you have received your passport and your visa has been granted. Yeah, so she can.
Okay, okay. If I get a local sponsorship, as they don't qualify for international sponsorship, so can they move the money into my account for the 28 days before I apply for my visa?
Yes, ECFU, they will have to move the money into the student's account because the sponsor is not recognized by the UKVI.
Okay. The same questions repeat.
Just a minute. So for our cherished students, I've just put in the office locations. We'll soon add the telephone numbers so you can give us a call. Wherever you are, would be willing to help you, whether virtually or in person.
Okay. Okay. Do I have to add my personal statement to the document? So I think if you are using, let's say your father is sponsoring you, so we are using the father's bank statement. You don't need to add your own. Can we talk?
There's no need to include a personal statement for that. The only document required for visa is your financial documents, bank statements, and then your TB test and your academic documents. Basically, if you're being sponsored by your parents, you just provide your proof of parental link, sponsorship letter from your parents, and then their bank statements. That's all.
Okay. We got a question here I would like to read out. Can I take the money back just right after the 28 days in the account?
We ask you to keep the money in there until you pick up your visa. because sometimes they do random checks. So you don't want to take the money out, print out the statement and present it. That gives false information because the funds are not in place. So we strongly suggest that you keep the money in there until you get your visa, and then you can withdraw to buy your tickets or to pay for your accommodation or just get ready for school. Thank you.
Okay. Kezia, I don't know if you have if you got any other question with you over there. I think
Okay, I can see one
we've
question
gone
here.
through. Okay.
Okay, Kezia, before you come in, so I'm just announcing that we have roughly 10 minutes left on this Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please keep typing them in and we'll aim to answer all your questions. Thank you.
Okay, a question from Baba. He's asking, please, I would like to know how this 28 days thing is calculated because I printed a statement after a month, but I was told by the school that it was not up to the 28 days. And his second question is, his mom is a British citizen. He wants to know if it will affect his visa application, whether he will be granted or not.
Okay, let me take the second one. So it doesn't matter the nationality of your parents to be granted a student visa. So even if your mom is a British citizen and you declare that, that shouldn't have any effect on your application. And the 28-day calculation, I'm not sure why the school should say it's not up to 28 days minimum, which is usually a month. And your bank statement should not be more than a month old. So maybe it could be that it was in for the 28 days. However, it was printed a month ago. So you might want to check that as well. Thank you.
So you can just contact UKS Ghana and then we will check that out for you. Let me see.
Okay, Quincy is asking if he needs to provide his WASI results as his proof of English proficiency for his visa application.
The proof of documents will be stated on your CAS statement. So if your CAS statement says that you've been assessed by your English language in your WASI, then you're compelled to add that. However, if it doesn't state and they say they have made their own assessment of your English language, therefore no documents are required, you are not compelled to add your WASI. So that will depend on what the CAS states. I hope that's clear.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very clear. Um,
Okay.
Someone is on standby for scholarship application, the results. He wants to know what are some of the things he needs to do to save time. Maybe he wants to know whether he can pay his deposits and continue with the process while he waits for his scholarship letter.
Okay, so if you're waiting for scholarship letter, it means that you probably not have been issued with the CAS, so you cannot even start filling your visa application form online. However, you can go ahead and book your tuberculosis test because it takes time. There are long queues at the moment to get your TB test done. So go ahead and book your TB test, gather all your original documents on standby. Once you are issued that letter, you send a copy to your institution to be issued with the CAS, and then you can start the visa process. Thank you.
Okay. A question here. I have a relative in the UK, so can I decide to stay with them or it's compulsory for me to stay in the school?
You can choose to stay wherever you want to stay in the UK, but for the sake of the visa application, you still need to prove that you have enough funds to cover your living expenses. Living expenses here includes accommodation. So where you're going to stay, you still have to show that you have funds to cover that just for to get the visa. If you arrive in the UK, you can stay wherever you want to stay.
Will there be an issue? Okay. Will there be an issue if your bank statement show a transaction like of 1,500 cedis per month as salary, but with a closing balance of around 300,000 Ghana cedis?
Well, you have to explain the source of the funds. If your main source of finance is from your salary and you're earning 1,500, yet you have 300,000, I mean, it doesn't match up with your income. So you need to explain where you got that extra fund from to put in your account. So if, for instance, you're being sponsored by your brother, whose statement you cannot use under the Tier 4 rules, you need to explain that the funds have been given to you by your brother, and then you can just write a cover letter to explain. Thank you.
So you can contact UKS Ghana. We'll be happy to prepare you for the interview. So when they ask that question, you know how to go about that. Okay. Okay. Is it necessary for the sponsor to transfer the money into your account, or they can just write a letter, a sponsorship letter?
Okay, the question is not too clear. A sponsor, as in someone who is not your mom or your dad, maybe an uncle, an auntie, a grandparent. If that's the case, yes, they can transfer the funds into your personal account for the 28 days for you to apply for the visa. If it's a financial sponsor that meets the UKVI requirements, just the sponsorship letter will do. If you don't meet the requirements, they need to put the money in your personal account for 28 days. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Yeah, it does. For your TB test booking, so just contact UKS Ghana. We can assist you with that. Okay, we are going to end the session here. I don't know, Madam and Augustus, if you have any last word that you want to share with everyone here before we end.
Okay, thank you, Isifu. It's 1:27. Let's just give room for some more questions if possible. We can take for another 5 minutes, I believe, and then after that we'll wrap up.
Okay.
And if you need help with in case we've not read out your question and you need clarification on something,
Okay.
we've shared our contact numbers, our email. Please call us and we'll assist you. Thank you.
Okay. We got a question here. I think we should reply. How much do you charge if I need UKS to assist me with the process?
We provide a free service at UKIAS. We don't charge students to assist with visa. So feel free to reach out to us and we will assist you with the visa process for free. Thank you.
If you have already applied and your case is in, you need help to apply for your visa, or you are yet to apply for admission, or you are waiting for your unconditional offer letter, just contact UKS Ghana. We will take it from there and assist you for free. We don't charge anything at all. Thank you. Let me see. Do I get multiple entry to the UK? What is it? Sorry, I don't think I've got this question. Do I get multiple entry on the?
Yeah, Isifu. So the student. Okay, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, Augustus. So yes, you do get multiple entry on your Tier 4 visa. Once you arrive and you pick up your residence permit, you want to come to Ghana even 20 times in a year, you can come and go back as many times as possible. So yes, you do have multiple entry. Thank you.
Okay. The police certificate, is it a requirement when I'm applying for my UK student visa?
No, you don't need police clearance for that. Not for the UK Tier 4 visa.
Sure.
And let me just, I've seen a question. Some people are asking if we can share the presentation or the recording. We are not sharing this presentation or recording. If you have any questions that have not been addressed, you want to come and visit us at our office or speak to one of our counselors, please pick our contact numbers currently shared on the screen or email us and we would answer your questions. Thank you.
Okay. How long can I stay outside the UK on a student visa? Is it outside or inside?
That question
Hello.
is not. How long can you stay outside the UK on a student
On a,
visa? I don't quite get. Augustus, did you get that question?
Abdul Hakim, if you can explain further, then we'll know how to, or you contact UK as Ghana, and then after
All
the
right. So
presentation.
Isiful, let me try and answer his question. So the
Okay.
number of years will be determined by the number of months or years of the program you are going to study. So at the end of your studies, if you do not apply for the post-work rights, then you have to return back to your home country. Overstaying your visa is a criminal offense in the UK and may affect subsequent applications. So you can't overstay.
Okay, to add to that, when you pick up your residence permit, the residence permit will state clearly the validity of your visa. So if it's expiring on this day, it will state clearly. So if that answers your question, Abdul, thank you.
Okay. Please, do I need to book for accommodation before applying for my visa?
It's not mandatory, and not having accommodation provided will not really affect your application. However, you need to have an idea of where you're going to stay. So ahead of your interviews, if you have booked a university accommodation or private accommodation, you need to know the address and maybe the distance from that place to your school or your lecture halls, because you might be asked how long it will take you to commute to that to your school. But it's not mandatory. So it's just good to know that this is where you plan to live in case you are asked. But if you cannot provide evidence of where you're going to stay, that will not really affect your application. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I've been in the UK and withdrew from my course because I had
Hi, Isifu.
difficulty. Yeah, Sika.
Sorry to cut you. So it's past 1:30. After this question, we'll have students contact us and then we'll wrap up for the session. So if anyone is looking for assistance with their study visa application or is yet to apply to a school, they would have to contact us. I want to say that this would probably be the last question that we'll be reading out, and then we'll bring this session to a close. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Sika. I have been in the UK and withdrew from a course because I had difficulty with the course and delay with the recent permanent, what is that? Yeah, I think the BRP. So I have applied for a new course at the same university. So do I need a visa again since I have a BRP, a printed BRP already? I don't know if you are getting the question.
I do. I get the question very well. Thank you,
Okay.
Isifu, for that question. So if it's the same institution, you are still under that same license. However, if you were on a previous course, I'm sure maybe if it was last year, you have maybe less than a year to expiry of that visa, So if you are starting a new course another year after your previous one, I'm sure that you are shortfall of this number of months you have to be in the UK. So definitely you have to apply to extend that visa. I'm sure because if you applied last year and they've given you 1 year and you're going a year after, I'm sure you are left with about 2-3 months on that visa. So definitely, even though you can remain in that institution, you'd have to apply for extension on that same CAS, or the university will have to issue you with a new CAS to be able to apply for extension. However, you can commence your studies on that visa because it's the same university. But you can still reach out to us for further clarification if I have not really answered your question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone for attending the program. Augustus and Madam Mary, if you have any last word to share before we end the program here.
I'll leave Augustus to share his final thoughts and then pass on to our moderators to conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Augustus, please, any last words?
Yeah, thank you very much, Marie, for your support and for organizing this event. I believe we've learned a lot. And like I said from the beginning, UCAS is very happy to support you with your application, your student visa application. And for those that have doubt if, the UK is open up for international students to enroll in person, yes, they have. If things keep on the way they are going, probably they may not even be having hybrid form of learning. And so contact us. The counselors have shared their contact details in the chat box. You can also see our various offices contact details on the screen. We work weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., especially for OSU office, and then second Saturdays in the month for OSU office. Mary, can you confirm if it's same for Kumasi office and East Legon office? Thank
Yes,
you.
it's same for all offices. Thank you very much, Augustus.
Okay, thank you so much, Augustus. Thank you, Madam, for taking time to address all the questions. And to Isifu and the team, thank you so much for reading out the questions. And please, as Augustus stated earlier, we are here for you. The schools have entrusted us to assist you with your applications and then the visa processes as well. So please do not hesitate to contact us via email or just pick any of the numbers and get in touch. We will take you through the visa process till you receive your visa and then you enroll successfully into your preferred university. Thank you for taking time to join the session and for holding on throughout the hours. We really appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good day. Bye.